serving a piece. Working, we serving the streets. About to go eight, going beast. Bang, bang.
Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Thursday. Listen, I hope that you all had an amazing day on today. Listen. I am so excited about today's topic, y'all. I am so excited about today's topic. But before I begin, I want everyone to write in the comments fearless. I want everybody to write in the comment fearless. This is going to be a new start on our journey of life, y'all. This is going to be a new start on our everyday life, God. Listen. I want you guys to write in the comment fearless before I even begin this podcast on today. I want you guys to write in the comments fearless, okay? As you all know, tonight's topic is let's talk fair in the workplace, y'all. Let's talk fair in the workplace. And this is not even about the workplace or only about the workplace. This is about every day. And I can't prepare y'all. Look, I got my God is dope sweater. I had this on all day today. I mean, I had to, zip it up a little at work, but it's cool. But I felt in my spirit, y'all, on today that I wasn't playing with the devil, y'all. I wasn't playing. I had my mindset all ready when I woke up this morning. I wasn't feeling good either. I had to speak that thing into existence. I had to speak fearless into existence, y'all. I had to know and understand who I was on this morning. So before we get started, I want you guys to write in the comment fearless, y'all. For real. Like, no joke, no lie. Because we're about to get in the nitty gritty on today, y'all. We're about to get in the nitty gritty. And if you guys can hear me, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me I heard you, give me clear, give me something that indicates that you can hear me nice and clear. There's like no echo, none of that nonsense, okay? I'm going to give this one more minute right in the comment. I see my sis Kimmy is on tonight. Listen, y'all. She just came out with some dope music, y'all. She just came out with some dope music. If y'all did not hear her music yet, I need you to go on YouTube, Spotify, whatever you got on your phone, and look up Kimmy J, y'all. Kimmy J, Kimmy J, and listen to her music, y'all. Download it. I promise you it's going to change your life. I promise you it's going to have you up in the morning and just straight worship. Listen to her music. I see my sis Tanaya is out here. She is a dope coach. If you have not heard about her, look her up, y'all. I see my cousin is on here. Yes, honey. I got my cousins from down south on here. I am excited. My hubby, of course, is on here. I got my sis on here. My blood sis from Atlanta. That's my boo. Love you, sis. Thank you for supporting as always. I want to thank you all for praying for me these past 2 weeks. The week before last, I was sick and I was at the doctor's office. This past week, my daughter was sick, but the devil is a liar. Yeah, y'all already know he's defeated. He tried to stop something that was about to be wrong, but it ain't working. But let's get started. So on tonight, we are talking about fear, okay? We are talking about fear. And I took my notes, y'all, today. Look, I even got my notes. I was like, listen, I'm about to go into this thing, and I'm about to go into this thing correct because it's serious out here, y'all. It's serious. Like even today at work, the work atmosphere, if you are not grounded and if you are not prayerful, if you are not in your word, let me tell y'all, it'll take you to a place where the old you don't want to come back, but then people put you in positions where you're like, don't do it, right? And sometimes, right? Sometimes we need to just be still, y'all. We need to just really just be still. But when we look at the word fear, and I dig deep into this thing, y'all. Like I really did dig deep into this thing. And when we look into the word fear, I'm gonna give you a definition right now. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. right? And even in that definition, it gives us a lot of information, a belief, a belief. So right then is something that within that belief, there's something that we have encountered before, right? That will cause us to have a belief in something, right? It's something that we have experienced in our past days that cause us to believe in our present day that this thing or this someone is going to cause harm or a threat to our well-being, to our human fleshly body, right? And then it goes and says dangerous. That word alone, dangerous. That means like, and it took me back to when we were kids, right? And our parents are constantly saying, "Don't touch that. That's gonna hurt you. Don't touch fire because it's gonna burn you. Don't go near a big animal because it can hurt you, right? You never know who this trainer is. You never know." Okay. Um, I don't know how to fix that. Okay. Um, when we are children, right, our parents guide us into not going into something that might harm us, right? We are taught not to go to strangers, right? Because we might be placed in a position where we might not come back. And then it says the word pain. Now, we are all are very familiar with pain, right? In some form of nature, we have been hurt before. So we know what hurt feels like, right? We know what a cut feels like when we fall down and scrape our knee. We know what emotional pain feels like, right? When we go through a relationship and it doesn't work out and we feel that hurt. Or maybe our loved ones, right, did something to us that hurt us, right? So we are very familiar with what pain really is. And then it says threat. Now, if you are from the hood like me, we don't like to be threatened by words, by anything in a sense where that will cause us to react, right, in a negative way. But then when we look at that word threat is so broad because somebody can threat you in multiple ways. Somebody can threat you in a body language. Somebody can threat you by the words. Somebody can threaten you just by facial expressions, right? It's all on how we interpret the way that somebody or something is basically doing or reacting towards us. And that goes back to the word belief. That goes back to the word belief. Now, when I read this definition, I was just like, wow. Like, wow. Because sometimes the something or someone that we are led, right? That we are led by this fearful spirit to believe that that something or someone is dangerous or going to cause us pain or even threaten us sometimes might not even be the case. I can remember when I was young and I got chased by a dog. And when I used to be a track star, y'all. So running, that dog wasn't catching me, right? And I was running down the park, y'all. I was running. I was running. Anybody who's familiar with Soundview, now it's different. But back then, it was like this long ramp that you had to come out the park. And I was running down that ramp. I ran down that ramp and I jumped on my uncle. I jumped on him because I was led to believe that these big animals are a threat. These big animals are dangerous. These big animals are going to cause me, my body, my little body pain. So immediately when I saw this big animal, my first reaction was to run. Not thinking maybe the dog is just playing. Maybe the dog just, want to play with me. He's not going to bite me. He just want to play with me. But because of what I've been through and because of what was taught, because of what I was molded to believe, my first reaction was to run. And let's go deep into this thing, right? Because when we talk about the workplace, right? Many of us are walking in the workplace with so much fear. Fear that if we do something, fear of if we say something wrong, then we're going to lose our jobs, or fear that if we do something or say something, it's going to place us in a position where we feel less than what we are because of who we work with and who we work for. Right? And it's crazy to me because I see this on an everyday basis, right? I see this on an everyday basis in every job I had. I've seen this in the job where I was working at fast food restaurants. I've seen this in jobs where I had when I was working in a law firm. I've seen this in a job where I was working in retail. I've seen this in the jobs where I work at now in the education field. And it bothered me that so many individuals can be at a place that they love but carry so much fear. How does that work hand in hand? How you can do something that you love, but at the same breath, be afraid to do that same thing that you love. Come on. It doesn't make sense because if you are fearing the thing that you love, then you're not going to do it to the best of your ability. You're going to be walking on eggshells the whole entire time. You are going to be walking, second guessing every little thing that you do, knowing that what you're doing is correct, knowing that what you're doing is accurate, knowing that the thing that you're doing can change the dynamic of the whole workplace. But because of this thing called fear, you have a setback. Because of this thing called fear, you are now being stagnated. Because of fear, you're not being elevated because you're carrying that fear around. And let me tell you what fear does. Fear stops you from reaching your highest potential. Fear stops you from being where you're supposed to be. And this can come from every aspect in life. We don't want to let this person go because we are afraid that our relationship is going to change. I was watching Tyler Perry and he used it today and this came real random and he used the example. He said a rocket ship goes up and I guess the little wings come off. He said you can't take everybody where you're going because where you're about to be elevated to, they not ready. That's not to say that you're not going to go back and probably help them out a little later on. That's not to say that you're going to forget about that person. But what's for you is for you. And where God is taking you, He needs you to be ready in position. So that way when He gets you where you need to go, you can then bring others with you. But if you are in a fearful state, there's no way that God is going to use you the way that He desires because you're carrying around this fear. And that brings me to my next thing. Because we're going to change this fear into something else, y'all. Y'all ready for this? I'm ready. I'm excited. If y'all got a pen and paper, I think y'all need to write this down. And it's so amazing because I was sitting here and I was praying before I came on. And I'm like, God, give me the words. Give me the words. Decrease me because, like, right, I need you right now. Like, I need you right now because all week I was sitting here and I was thinking, like, God, what do you want me to say? Because I never want what I say to come from me or a personal perspective. But what I want to say is to help everyone in every different angle. What I want to say in a sense where it's coming from not only love, but respect. And I was sitting here and then he just started speaking. And I'm like, but we're going to change this word fear. We're going to substitute these things, right? And what came to me was for F, fearless. Fearless. And what fearless means is lack of fear. It's simple, right? Simple. It's a simple thing. Fearless, lack of fear. And when I thought about that thing, it brought me to Psalms 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Who should I fear? If you know who you are in the kingdom, if you know who your Father is, there's no way in the world that you should fear anybody. My mama used to tell me they bleed just like you bleed. We all bleed the same blood. The only difference is we all went through different circumstances. So if somebody come off to you a little harder than others, that's because they've been through some more things than the other person. If someone comes to you with a specific demeanor, it's not that they was brought up like that. It's not that they were born like that. It's that they've been through some things that we might not even understand. But does that mean that that person is less than you? Absolutely not. Does that mean that that person is less worthy? Absolutely not. That just means that that person just needs to break down some barriers. Some chains need to be broken. God needs to resuscitate the heart. God needs to get into the mind, transform, right? So we're going to substitute that F of fear to fearless. And we're going to substitute that E for extraordinary. And when I thought about that word, I'm like, we use this word all the time. We use this word, I'm extraordinary, baby, and I use it. Man, listen, I'm different. I don't care what nobody say. I know I'm different. And when you look up the word extraordinary, that means very unusual. And then it took me to 1 Peter 2 and 9. It took me to 1 Peter 2 and 9. Listen, guys. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, holy nation, his own special people. His own special people. And when I thought about that special people, it reminded me on how God took his time with just me. How he took his time to create me. How he took his time to really form every feature that's a part of me. How he formed every vocal cord, every level when I speak. How he formed every movement that I make. How he formed a structure. How he formed my personality. That took a lot of thinking. I don't know about you, but even when I'm sketching, it takes a lot of work. So when I think about how my father took his time to make me unique and not like no one else, when he took his time to make and create me to fit me, and it's amazing because oftentimes in life, people try to change who you are to fit who they think that you should be. People try to change who you are to create something that they wish that they can be. And too many times people try to live their life through other people. But my father is like, you extraordinary, baby. I made you unique for a reason. You're not meant to stand in. You're meant to stand out. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to stand out. I did not create you to be like everyone else. I'm telling you, when I go to work, listen, I went to work in all black one day, and my coworker was like, you okay? I said, yeah, isn't it all black for the D3027 or whatever it is? They said, I'm not used to you dressing on all black. I'm used to you with all something going on. And I'm like, I'm just. And then it reminded me, you never know who's watching you. You never know who's studying you. And you never know what your personality can do for somebody else. So don't never let nobody change you because you extraordinary. Our Father took his time when he created you. Gap and all. Hello. Big eyes and all. Big forehead. Yes, indeed. Big lips. Tall, skinny, slim, whatever the case may be. I know he took his time with me. And it took me such a long time to love who I am. I can remember me being a teenager and wearing 2 pairs of jeans because I thought I was too skinny. Because people used to say when I turned sideways, I disappear. They really told me that. I used to be ashamed of my eczema because they used to call me Oreos. Give it up to the big forehead. You never know who's watching you. Listen, we're going to change that A to accomplished. And what accomplished means is very skilled or highly trained. Very skilled or highly trained. And it reminded me of Jeremiah 1 and 5. I knew you before you was even in your mother's womb. I knew what you was about to become. I knew what I wrote your book. We got to get in the mindset that we are already accomplished. We are already rich. We are already on the top. We got to stop looking at the numbers. We got to stop paying attention to what people are saying. They talked about Jesus. They talked about Tyler Perry. They talked about Martin. They talked about Will Smith. I can go Jada. I can go on and on and on how many people they talk down upon. But look where they are right now because they did not allow the naysayers to overtake their destiny. They had a passion and they went forward head on. They had no's and they had something like yes. Les Brown always talks about how he wanted this job. He always wanted to be a motivational speaker. And God placed him in positions to see what he was going to do. He went for a job and they kept telling him no. He showed up every single day. Even when they closed the door on him, he showed up every single day. He knew. He knew because he understood the assignment. He understood what he lived and breathed every single day. He understood his father and who he was in the kingdom. If they're not talking about you, you're not doing something right. Hello. And that is so true, though. If you really think about it, it really is. It really is. Because if they're not talking about you, what is there for them to talk about if you're not doing something right? What is there to talk about? And you know when you're doing something right in the workforce, when they start coming for you. Because then they start coming for you when you become the threat to them. And all you're trying to do is do what you love to do. That's why I admire my group of friends, each and every one of them, because they go-getters. They go-getters. They don't got time. They don't got time. They get up and they go after what they want. And they don't even know that they inspire me so much for me to do the same thing. And then we're going to switch that R to radiant. I love this word. Radiant means shining or glowing bright, sending out light. You got to be the light wherever you go. The light wherever you go. No matter what you're going through, you still be that light. Because someone else is depending on you. So we don't have time to fear. We don't have time to even allow that fearful spirit to come in. We don't got time because there's so much work to do. God has predestined us to be in a specific place. It's already written out. He's waiting on us to catch up. He's like, I'm here. I'm waiting on you. I'm telling you, I'm like this every day I go to work. I'm like the only, I don't say the only, like two other people. Where are the people where I know when we go in there, we on 10 every single day. I kid you not. I go in there so loud. I go in there smiling. I go in there just being me. The light shining in the darkness. You know what's funny? Because that takes us to 2 Corinthians 4 and 6. Let there be light and darkness. Come on, Miss Washington. Come on. Get out my head. That's one of my prayer warriors in the school. We was in work praying today, y'all. I kid you not. We was in work praying today. So we canceling out this fear, and we are substituting it for fearless, and we are substituting that fear for fearless, extraordinary, accomplished, and radiant. Don't let nobody dim your light. I will never forget that sermon that Pastor Troy had preached. Don't dim your light. I promise you, it was one of the most profound words I've heard, because it makes you realize that even in the darkness, your light still shines. Have you ever seen in the cartoons, Beauty and the Beast, for an example? Was it Beauty and the Beast? Maybe I'm wrong. But the light was this close. Was that the flower? But the light, one of them was with the light, was this close of going out. And then boom. Boop, boop. Don't let nobody dim your light. We don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. And the funny part about it is, even in your darkness, you are still your light. Even in your darkness, you are still your light. Nobody know you better than you besides God. So you know what you can handle, you know what you can't. You know what will get you up, and you know what will keep you down. You have control. What's your why? What's your why to get up, and what's your why not to fear? What's your why to get up, and what is your why not to fear? Because somebody's watching you, whether it's your kids, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, significant other, work environment, community. I guarantee you somebody's watching you. I guarantee you change your personality for one day and see how many people will come up to you and ask you, are you okay? Do it for one day. That's a challenge. Do it for one day and see how many people will come up to you and ask you, are you okay? You are extraordinary. There's something about you that causes others to surround you. There's something about you that when you walk in the room, things shift, things change. There's something about your smile that will cause somebody's train of thought disappear. There's something about when you say good morning to someone that causes them to change gears. There's something about the way you move that causes somebody to be still. There's something about your personality that causes somebody to get up every single day and you don't even know it. So there's no time to fear. God haven't given us a heart of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And if you really realized all of these words tie into one another, I promise you this was not on purpose, but it was his purpose. All of these words tie in with one another. All of these scriptures tie in with one another. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're like that, Abba. You're amazing. Like, you're dope. You're dope. Because who else? Who else would do that? Who else would do that? We don't got time to fear. And I mean in all aspects. We don't got time to fear in our communities. Know who you walk with. Know who you walk with. Know who walks beside you, in front of you, behind you. It's not by accident when you're walking down the street and out of the blue, you want to go a different route than you usually go. It's not by accident that you driving. It's for some reason you miss your turn. That's not by accident. It's not by accident you getting random phone calls by people talking about, do you want the job? It's not by accident that you got a raise. It's not by accident that people are coming up to you asking, do you want a different position? Nothing is by accident. It's because you were chosen. And the enemy's job is to come to steal, kill, and destroy. His job is to destroy every plan. But the question is, are you going to give it to him? Because he can't just take it. Can't just take it. The enemy knows the plans for your life before you even know it. So it's his job to place fear, to stop. Because he knows where you're going. He see it. He saw it. He was working when it was created. But my word also let me know where my strength comes from. So those times where I do feel weak, I know where to go to get my strength and to be restored. The question is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Because there's no more time to be wasted. We wasted so much time. We wasted so much time. There's no more time to be wasted. We wasted too much. We allow fear to hover over us for too long. When are we going to say enough is enough? When are we going to say enough is enough? Like we say, we tired of being tired. We sick and tired of being tired. When are you going to be tired of the enemy? When are you going to clap back? My first lady, my pastor, she taught me that. Clap back. These are your war hands. How we have a war room and we go and pray, these are your war hands. When are we going to clap back and start smacking this devil? Smack, smack. When are we going to do that? Because we don't got time. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I thank you so, so much for tuning in today. I thank you and I pray that everything that God set for your life, it is yea and amen. I pray that you leave here with a different perspective and that you leave here knowing that you are fearless, knowing that you're extraordinary, knowing that you are accomplished, knowing that you are radiant, knowing who you are in our Father's kingdom, knowing that you are the head and not the tail, knowing that you are above and not beneath, knowing that he chose you in this time, in this season, because he needed you to do only the vision that he's given you. Because can't nobody else do it. Can't nobody else do it but you, because he gave it to you. That was for me. I grab it. I wish he just, lay it out for me, because I got too much I got to do. Oh, God. Bringing it back in. The vision that he's given you, it's time to write it down. The vision that he's given you, it's time for you to take that first step. He said, take the first step and I'll do the rest. When you take that first step, watch everything just fall in place. Watch he start bringing people to you that is connected to what it is that you desire. What it is that he's giving you, the gift that he's giving you, I promise you, he's going to start bringing people to you left to right. You is not even going to realize it. Because that's how amazing he is. It's time for us to pick up our bed and walk. No more giving this idiot an easy pass. You got to know how to fight. You're not getting through me. You got to take it to the streets. You're not getting through me. You're not getting to my family. You're not getting to my kids. You're not getting to my loved ones. You're not getting to my friends. We got to learn how to pray. Got to learn how to pray. Prayer changes things. I don't know if you believe that, but it has for me. But we are no longer walking in fear. I know that. We're no longer walking in fear. That fear gotta go. It gotta go. And it's been on my spirit for 3 weeks. I was supposed to speak this 3 weeks ago, y'all. And it has not left. I had to get this out because it's too long. Too long. Too long. We're not about that life. How about that? We're not about that life. We're not about that fear life. We wasn't in the streets, and we not right now. Same way you will thump your hands when somebody come at you, the same way you need to fight in the spirit. Because I'm coming for everything. Everything that was already called upon me is mine. And it's yours. The question is what you're going to do with it. We got to take back and we got to clap back because time is ticking. Time is ticking, y'all, and we don't got no more time to be wasted. So I really hope that helped you. I hope that you go in peace. I hope that if you know someone, please share. Yes, fear has to go. We kicking that fear back to hell. We kicking that fear. Know who your father is. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You gotta use wisdom. So you know you being mistreated. Take care of that. Because let me tell you, you belong to the most powerful person, the most powerful man that has ever lived. You belong to the most, listen, I'm not even going to go into there. I'm going to be on here for another hour. Know who you are. Understand who you are and walk in authority. Walk with your head held high and never low. Walk with your head held high and never low. Because you never know who's watching. I remember this lady when I was living with my mom, and this lady who lived on the lower floor, she stopped my mom one day and she said, your daughter, your daughter never get mixed up whatever is going on around here. She said, your daughter, I've never seen your daughter walk with her head low. Her head was always high. And this is something that many of us do subconsciously, right? You just walk. But when the anointing is over you, that walk is different. So walk in your authority. Walk in it. Because it's you. Come on. It's you. And don't never be ashamed of it. Because the people who go against it, then those people wasn't even supposed to be in your life in the first place. But when you have people who surround you, who respects you, you know it's real. Pay attention to your surroundings. That's the next topic. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention who you so loosely call friends. Not everybody is your friend. And when you surround yourself with people who energy don't match, you start attaching yourself with spirits that you didn't even want. Be very careful who you surround yourself with. I had to learn that the hard way. And I thank God that He surrounded me also with people who I can genuinely say those are my friends and my sisters. And my brothers. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I hope, and for those who are traveling, that you get to your destination safe. I hope that when you go into the workplace tomorrow, that you have a different mindset, a different perspective, and a different attitude. Be you, and don't let nobody change who you are. Don't let nobody change you. Somebody once told me that God created you the way that you are because there's a set of people that He has waited specifically for you. And if you change who you are, those set of people is going to be lost forever. We were designed for a group of people, the people who we were called to go to. And those people were to come to you. And you're going to be that person who's going to change whole, their whole perspective. But if you change who you are, some people will never find you because now you are walking as someone that you're really not. And they're not going to recognize you. And if they can't recognize you, then you can't be their light. That was good. You can't be their light. So don't never let your light dim. Let me go, because I'm gonna keep talking. Let me go. Thank you for watching, y'all. Peace out.